Hi, CPOC, and welcome to yet another monthly legal update from the Lex Rex Institute. We got a few exciting things to share with you folks this month, including some updates on our existing cases, several cases that we won and are now resolved, and a couple new ones we've taken on. There's also a new episode of the Lex Rex Institute podcast, particularly proud of that one, just came out this morning. And that's our first episode after a 10-month hiatus. We got kind of busy with my wedding and everything else that was going on, but we are back, and we're hoping to have those every couple of weeks once again. This newest episode is the third in our series about a guy by the name of Jeremy Bentham, who might just be the most influential thinker that you've never heard of. And not in a good way. Find out why in our most recent episode. And if you haven't listened to our podcast before, well, there's plenty of backlog there too that you can listen to. We do encourage that. One of our most important tasks, we think, is education, and our podcast is a key way that we do that. You can find it on our website. It's Lex Rex Institute Podcast. We're also continuing forward on our lawsuit against the Voters' Choice Act. If you remember, that's our lawsuit challenging the switch in Orange County from polling places, where you go to your specific polling place, and vote centers where anybody can vote anywhere in the county. It's based on a contradiction between the Voters' Choice Act and existing California state law, and we're very confident in this lawsuit. We are still waiting to hear back from the defendants on this one. None of them have filed their answers yet, but those are coming up, so you can rest assured there'll be an update from us in the near future. Dr. John Eastman, we've also finally reached a resolution of his state bar court matter. The state bar court did recommend disbarment. This was not a surprise to us based on the way that things were going in trial and the clear disposition of the judge in that case. Now, John does still have options here. He remains barred before federal courts, which is the bulk of his practice anyway, and technically he's actually still barred before California courts too, so don't trust the news reports on this one. The bar court, all they can do is give a recommendation for disbarment. That has to be acted upon by the Supreme Court of California, which hasn't happened yet. So John does still remain barred at this time. Now, he can appeal this, and there's also a path for victory before the Supreme Court. So he's got options. We'll keep you updated on that. Now, John, one more problem. John has also now been indicted in Arizona for what Arizona is calling the fake electors scheme. Now, what they call the fake electors scheme is really just the decision to have President Trump's electors meet on December 14th and vote. In case Biden's electors got decertified, there'd be an alternate slate there that could take their place. This is not new. This is not a novel theory. It's happened many times before in our history. Most recently in 1960, exactly that happened with Nixon's electors. The state ended up going to Kennedy after a court said that it had been unlawfully awarded to Nixon. So this has happened before. Why they're fake electors, we don't know. But more importantly, John didn't really even do anything in Arizona in 2020. He's not on a single lawsuit. He really didn't even call any legislators over this electoral strategy. He wasn't even involved in the electoral strategy. Apparently, the best we can figure is they're indicting him because his name came up a lot in 2020. Well, you can figure why that would be. He's representing the President of the United States. Of course, his name is going to come up a lot. Not sure why that qualifies as something that's chargeable in Arizona under their criminal law, but I guess we'll find out. We've hired Ashley Adams to come onto the team for John in Arizona. She's going to be local counsel there. Ashley Adams is a former federal prosecutor. She's joined the team now, and we are extremely happy to work with her. She seems like she'll be doing great work for us. Lex Rex has also been hired and has taken on a new election challenge on behalf of Laura Hobbs, who ran for supervisor of District 2 in Shasta County. She lost by a mere 14 votes, and these 14 votes amid a myriad of irregularity and illegal election conduct. This is a great opportunity to challenge this conduct and get a judicial determination that the election was not fairly conducted. This would reverse that election result, allowing Laura to continue on the ballot in November and, perhaps more significantly, giving us a victory that would have evidence of irregularity in an election that we could then use as a jumping board for future election challenges. Now, we're still looking for a plaintiff on our fraud case against doctors who perform sex reassignment surgeries. Now, remember, this has to be on behalf of someone who was induced to undergo this kind of procedure and is currently between the ages of 18 and 22. There's a very narrow window on these kind of lawsuits. So it's got to be between those ages. If you know anybody, please send them our way, and we need to act quickly on that one. We also did resolve several of our COVID wrongful terminations over the past several months. Those were all resolved favorably, with our clients receiving settlements or judgments from the court awarding them monetary compensation because they were not rightfully fired during that time. Also, importantly, keep your eyes open for our election integrity webinar that will be coming up. In that, we'll be telling you what your rights are as an election observer, how to be an effective election observer, and perhaps most importantly, how to put together a declaration that can actually be used by attorneys to win in court. That's often the problem here. People see a lot of stuff, but they don't document it in a way where lawyers can use it. We're going to teach you how to do that. We have not yet picked the date for that, so if you're interested in it, visit our website, lexrex.org, lexrex.org, scroll to the bottom of the page, and sign up for our newsletter. That's where they'll get information about that, or you can just follow these monthly legal updates and we'll give you information about it. Now, CPUC has been a generous contributor to LexRex. We are profoundly appreciative for what you guys have done for us, especially with regard to our VCA lawsuit. And with your help, I'm confident that we can restore our republic and we can get our Constitution respected. I know it's a lofty goal, but we're working toward it and we are making progress. So thank you for your help. And we'll talk to you folks next month.